So Trent Tiffin Motorhomes, I mean, when you really boil it down, we're a product oriented company, right? We are in manufacturing. We market several different classes of motorized vehicles through our dealer network. Of course, we have great relationships with a lot of our owners who get to know us after they purchase. But what is product development, product management at Tiffin Motorhomes? What's it mean to you, and kind of how do you think about it?
How do we meet the needs of our customers? Needs are always changing and evolving. So one person who buys a Wayfarer and it's their first RV ever, they have certain needs and wants in that unit. Or we have someone who's coming from a 37 Phaeton. They need something a little bit smaller, so their needs are for this. And do we provide all those needs and wants for the customer? And I think that's the fun part of that game. That's how you challenge yourself. Well, what can I do here? What can I do here? You've only got so much limited space, and a bed can only go in one spot, pull-up can only go in one spot, kitchen's in one spot. So that creative game of meeting the evolving needs for customers. And Van, you did that for years with Dad, and that was always the challenge, is like, how do we go do this? And then to handling sales, I always hear requests. I would like this. I've had this before. This is really important to me. And two, if we do a good job with the product development, we come out with the best floor plans, best feature sets, and we raise ourselves above the competition.
Yeah, I was just going to ask. I mean, it sounds like something that really gets the competitive juices flowing, and it sounds like something that changes pretty fast, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we could do one option 1 year, and it's great. And then second year, nobody orders it. Yeah. It's just, simple as that, a floor plan, and, it's always going to change, but you've always got to be ready and willing to embrace the change.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite sources of feedback when you think about future product designs and where we're going with product direction?
Customer calling in on the phone or going to a show. And my rule in the back of my mind is, if I keep hearing it 5 or 10 times, it's like, you've got to go do it.
Yeah, there's something here.
Yeah, sometimes the customer will give you a one-off idea, and it may not be correct, or it is correct, but it'll spark someone's interest, and then I can go ask somebody at the point, like, no, this is what they're actually trying to get to, but if you do it this way, then it's like, okay.
Yeah. Very good. Van, any thoughts on product development and how we attack that here?
Well, I've always been told that the floor plan is the number one selling item of a motorhome. So we're always, we do a lot of work on floor plans, and we're always trying to figure out different arrangements that would make RVing more pleasant and more accommodating to the customer. And, what I found is through the years, and it's one of the things that's made RVing more expensive too, by the way, is everybody loves gadgets. Yeah. The more automatic, everything needs to be, nothing needs to be manual. Everything needs to have power this, power that, hydraulic this, hydraulic that, and it's wonderful. And we spent a lot of time throughout the years, the multiplexing systems has been phenomenal. Love sending signals to turn lights on. And now, hey, it wouldn't be great in my house. In my house, I want to flip a light switch, but multiplexing makes tremendous sense in an RV. Sure. You can crank the generator from the bedroom while you're lying in the bed. You can turn the lights on outside. You can hook up a remote camera to watch, for security purposes. Hey, we got security on the motorhomes now. We've got, to blow the horn and flash the lights if somebody tries to open the door. It's all wonderful stuff, and the industry has come a long way, really.
Yeah, and that's really where I wanted to go next on the topic of product development. Papa Bob, you've been doing this since 1972, and I certainly can't speak for you, but these things look a lot different than the old pictures I've seen, the ones we built today. What kind of stands out in your mind when you think about product development and how the product has evolved over the decades?
Well, when I started, it was all about construction and wood frames and aluminum frames. That was the difference, and steel frames.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to use something in our product that people like. Well, I got really good vibes when we go to the shows, see, about the aluminum frames.
Yeah, all aluminum.
All aluminum, yeah. So we started with that. We had aluminum skin on the outside, aluminum frame, and had a sealed frame on our chassis that was really good, and we still use those same features today.
Yeah.
That is stuck.
Yeah.
But we've got a one-piece roof that we used back then. We're still using a one-piece roof. All those things add up to make a motorhome.
I remember the display model you had built up. The aluminum tubing, 12 inches on the center, steel skirts, and the foam insulation and all that. It was a big selling feature.
Yeah, we did one of those for every dealer back then.
Wow.
And they put them outside, you know, so they could show it to the customer. This is what's under the skin. That was a good deal. And of course, Trent mentioned something about working the shows, and that's a big deal. You know, you need to get out there and work the shows with there, and see owners and see what they're really interested in.
Sure.
And I still do. I carry a little piece of paper in my pocket, and when I get ideas from customers, I write it down.
Yeah.
And there's been lots of stuff transferred from my pocket to a motorhome over the years.
Oh yeah, Papa's been real innovative through the years. He has. I mean, I remember the first diesel pushers you built back in the late 80s.
Yeah.
And very few people were even eager to go down that road. We had those big chassis sitting out here, and I was just amazed. You know, so big, so huge, and he never backed down from a challenge. I remember even back in the 80s, he said, we need to build our own chassis, and I thought, I just almost died. I thought, we can't do that. And little did I know we were going to do that someday. And it was all his idea and his inspiration.
Of course, you saw the first slide out in motorhome, what, 30 years ago?
Yeah, it was been a long time. It was we started slide out. The first slide out we built was a 25 or 26 foot Allegro. Had one slide out. I won't never forget it. The guy pulled a Newmar out here in front of our office, and it had a couple of slide outs in it, and he wanted to show it. He was from over here in Marion County.
And I wanted to show you this neat innovation.
Yeah, and I said, well, you know, when we started that was that afternoon.
Yeah.
We went down here in the final finish, and we started working on that right then.
Yeah.
And I knew that was going to be a deal. You can't sell a motorhome now without a slide out.
Yeah. That's just
That
now.
might be a special unit you built, but you know that opened up. So I don't believe the industry would even be close to where it is now if we hadn't had slide out, because we have so many people that live full time in motorhomes now.
Yeah.
And you know, you go down there and park for 90 days, kick those slide outs out, and you got a good place to live.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not even just like innovating with slide outs. You know, growing up, we always went to the football games. You know, Dad had his unit, you had your unit, you had your unit, Lex had his unit. And I remember one time, because everybody would just crowd up at the motorhome watching the game because the TV was in the storage. And there's 40, 50 people, and it was a big game, and no one could really watch. And I think Dad got mad about it. And so he came back and said, put the TV in the wall. Well, the next thing you know, there's 100 people watching the games next year because the TV's up in the slide out.
Right.
And it's just simple things like that. You know, when we all used the coaches and had so many people going through it, because, you know, we had 10 people staying in the motorhomes. Like, those are some of the best memories of my life. But you got so many ideas right there. Like, you go to a show, go tailgate.
Yeah.
They'll tell you everything you need to know.